Check out Paddy's Rewards Club. Place 5 bets of £10 or more across any sport in a week and get a £10 free bet the next week. Paddy Power, you beauty! Max £10 bonus per person per week. Excludes shop bets. Selected odds. Conditions and exclusions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Hi there, a warm welcome to the Racing Post Weekend Football Postcast. I'm Bruce Millington, and in the company of 3 fantastic football judges, Dan Childs, James Milton and Paddy Powers, Ed Quigley, we are looking ahead to this weekend's football. We've got 5 live Premier League games. We'll be looking at all the other Premier League stuff, going down the divisions to see where the best value lies, and possibly across Europe as well. And there's a chance for you to win a £25 or €25 free bet from Paddy Power. First though, we will catch up with the latest happenings. We've had a full midweek programme of Premier League action. So 6 questions, 2 each for the lads, and then they get to answer the one they wish they had been asked. We'll start with you, Dan Childs, and we will look and see where the value lies in the sack race before you answer, and to give you a couple of minutes to think. Ed will give us the latest betting from Paddy Power.
Okay, so it's Paul Clement, Fav at 5-6, Mark Hughes 15-8, Pellegrino is now into 7-2 from 8-1 last night after their thumping by Leicester. No manager to leave his 20s. Eddie Howe's also 20s, and then it's 25s bar.
What do you reckon, Dan?
I thought Clement was going to be even shorter than that, really. I mean, they've shown before they're not afraid to make a decision, Swansea. You think about some of those other clubs. I mean, Stoke, the chairman there is very, very loyal to his managers. So I just think he often gives, his managers time to get the win they need to take the pressure off. I think with Swansea, they've made a decision to get rid of Bradley, didn't they, last year? And I watched them last night. I mean, although it was against Man City, there was just no fight about the performance at all. They were just like going out there and not closing down. And some of the goals, I mean, Silva's first goal, it was just a cross into the box, all the time in the world, really, to see the cross coming in. And the space Silva had was ridiculous. I just don't see the fight in the team there, and I think they'll look at it and say, we can make a change and it'll improve the situation.
And would they bring Pulis in? Because they've never really gone for someone that kind of agricultural.
They got this, reputation for playing a certain style.
The
Swansea way. I think at the moment, it's time to forget that, really. I mean, Everton, wanted to play a certain style of football. They've made a change and they're reaping the rewards at the moment. And Swansea, it's desperate, really, for them at the moment.
Academy,
West
the
Ham,
School of Science,
got a boys bounce now. Yeah.
So they're all going to kick their way out of trouble.
I think it's a clear thing, and I just think that they're clearly not doing the dirty things right, at the moment. They're not playing aggressively enough. They're not. They didn't get a booking last night. But you can say that's that's nothing wrong with that. But you've got to try and make some tackles and unsettle teams.
So 5-6 is value to you,
I think so. Yeah, I thought it'd be shorter.
Excellent. We'll go back up to the top of the table, nearly the top, because I think we assume that City are home and hosed. Paddy Power paid out before the Manchester United victory, so they obviously think they're home, and as I think we pretty much all do now, James. But the betting without City has come alive to an extent. Now, what's the latest on that, Ed?
So after last night's results, it's United are 8-11, Chelsea 2-1, drifts on Liverpool and Tottenham as you expect. Liverpool are 7s, Tottenham 14s, Arsenal 18s. Sorry, I meant Liverpool and Arsenal there, not Tottenham. Tottenham won last night, but Arsenal 18s then, and it's 500s bar. 500s bar. So, do you take the view that United are clear second best, James, or do you think they can be usurped from runner-up spot?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're interpreting everything in the context of City's amazing run, and United's points tally so far would be generally enough to see them top of the table. Having said that, I'm not mad about their price in that market. I mean, it is a tricky market, but I think probably Chelsea might just edge it for me if I was pressed to have a bet. I mean, Eden Hazard's now coming back into his top form, and I think there's quite a nice balance to their side when he's playing in that advanced position. United, they're pretty impressive, but I think probably too short in the market.
Okay, excellent. Where are we now? Ed, back down to the bottom. The relegation market now. First of all, we've got to do that Lee Dixon. Lee Dixon always loves an it's any X from X, doesn't he? So, presumably it's any 3 from how many, do you think, Ed?
I think that's 3 from a few, I'd say. Like, you could go all the way up as far as Stoke, I think, anyway.
Can Southampton not go?
Southampton are, I don't know, they're currently 16-1. I think Southampton should have enough to stay up, but they are a little bit toothless up top.
So should we say any 3 from 9?
Yeah, exactly. Any 3 from 9. Exactly.
Right, give me the prices, and then, Ed, I want your 3 to go.
Okay, so Swansea are 1-3, Huddersfield 6-4, West Brom 7-4, Newcastle 9-4, Palace 9-4, Brighton 12-5, Bournemouth 11-4, West Ham 16-5, and Stoke are 9-2, and Southampton are 16-1.
Okay,
So,
and which 3 go?
I think Swansea are gone. I think that they're, and as reflected by their price, they're 3's on. I can't see them staying up. And then I would go for, I think Huddersfield will go as well at 6-4. I just think they'll find the season catching up with them, and their lack of quality as well. I mean, they weren't even expected to go up in the Championship last season, so they're really outdoing themselves by being odds against for relegation in the Premier League already. And I think Newcastle could be in major trouble. The only thing I will say about Newcastle is, though, I just read there that the takeover deal might be done, and that there will be money available, big money as well, from what I hear from the takeover that's happening at Christmas time. So if that happens, like that is going to have a massive impact on Newcastle's price. If that does occur, I'd be saddling with West Brom for relegation.
West Brom. Okay. Dan, we're just coming up to the really fantastic time of year, aren't there? Games every single night and wall-to-wall football.
Yeah.
And yet, you still hear these calls for a winter break. Should we have a winter break?
I'm the most anti a winter break of anybody, really.
I think you're the second most anti.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's football is, people sometimes forget, it's a spectator sport. It's part of the leisure industry, and it's just, you know, for me, ever since I've been going to watch football, the best days of watching football, the best day in the year is Boxing Day, when you get all the games happening at the same time, and it's just a great opportunity. You've had your Christmas Day, and you might have had enough of, you know, the odd member of the family, and you get the chance to get out of the house and watch some football. It's you know, one of the best days I look forward to, and the coming thick and fast, it sorts out the men from the boys, doesn't it? You know, as well. It's I think it's a fantastic time of the year, and that's what's one of the things that's special about English football, and you know, I think, you know, we should be doing everything to keep it, really.
I absolutely agree with every word. Which member of your family is most likely to annoy you Christmas Day, would you say?
Oh, dear.
You don't have to answer.
No, I won't answer.
We don't want to cause ructions at the child's dinner table. James, Burnley. So they're flying ridiculously high. I mean, I saw them, they beat Palace early in the season. I thought they were the worst team we've played this season. I really did. Yeah. But something miraculous is happening there. They're either ridiculously lucky or Dyche is an even bigger genius than we thought. Where can they finish this season, do you think?
I mean, certainly, I'm sure Ed will provide us with the prices, but certainly top half. You know, looking at we've mentioned in the relegation betting, there's so many teams who are not in great shape. And Burnley, I agree with you. I thought early on in the season they had some really good results. Obviously, the stunning win at Chelsea on the opening day, and then some good away results. And I just thought they were using up all their luck. I don't know if that's a very scientific approach to it, but then, as you say, you know, when Palace were really struggling. You know, Burnley were pretty much outplayed at home by Palace and nicked a win. But now they just seem to be kind of grinding out the wins at home. And, you know, they started very slowly at home. Obviously, so good last season there, and now as I say, they're grinding out those home wins. So yeah, kind of.
What position will they finish in, do you think?
9th, I'm going to go for. Yeah.
Okay. And if Burnley fans listening, or indeed Burnley admirers listening, want to back them to do well, stroke badly, Ed, what have you got for us?
Yeah, so we've top 10 finished there, obviously top half. Burnley are 3-10 for that, it's quite short, but when you think about it, they've got 31 points already, and usually it's about 50 is all you need for top half, so they're 60% of that already or more. And then for top 6 finish, they're 16-1. And if you're really ambitious, they're 125 to 1 for top 4 finish.
Okay. And
without Man City?
Well, yeah, without. Well, I think it's 500 to 1 bar, so that probably brings in Burnley, as they say. Now, Ed, question for you. Last night's Premier League games could have been a bit of a wipeout with another couple of goals, maybe one for Arsenal and one for Liverpool. So how much does Paddy Power love the boys from the West Brom and West Ham this morning? They must have saved your bacon, didn't they?
Yeah, no, they saved us a right few quid, right? Indeed, definitely all the ACCA business would have clicked. I mean, you were talking like, you know, obviously everybody be punting Chelsea. I suppose the other result that went for us as well, like there was a big move on Southampton as well against Leicester, and like Leicester obviously hammered them there last night. 4-1.
Do Asia still like Southampton, Ed? That was a hangover from last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, they certainly do. Yeah, I mean, Southampton actually rated a lot better than. Like, I think Southampton went off about 10-11 last night, and when you say that like 225 is around the price where they rate the two teams similar, Yeah, so Southampton are definitely rated better than Leicester, but I mean they've constantly underperformed now for about 18 months, Southampton. So I don't know, and I suppose it was Puel must have been loving sticking it to his old team last night, and comprehensively too.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like those two results saved us a right few quid last night. And we were in the black last night because of it as well.
I should think so. Now, answer me this as well, Ed. I'm intrigued about this. Both teams to score is really popular these days, isn't it? I think in last night's 8 Premier League, or 8 or 9, 8 Premier League games, I think, no, 7, pardon me. Only one was of both teams to score. Is that a good result for you generally? Because people very rarely back the no in that, do they?
Yeah, like to be perfectly honest, like all your casual punters would definitely be betting on both teams to score, yes, because they just want to see positive stuff happening in I suppose whatever game they're watching or all the games they're watching or whatever they're doing. Yeah, whereas your more sophisticated punter might end up backing the unders and or both teams to score no.
Okay, Dan, which question are you going to take?
I'll take the betting without City. I would echo what James said about Chelsea. I think Chelsea are the value there, and I'll just bring in another point about the Champions League as well. With Chelsea's draw against Barcelona, there's a good chance they'll be knocked out in the last 16 and give them a much more time then to focus on the Premier League games as well. And Manchester United, we've seen last year that they're quite if they're secure enough in the top 4, Mourinho's quite happy to start prioritising the cup competitions. They've got an easier Champions League draw, could go long in that, and they might not be quite as focused on the league games. So Chelsea there, I think, is a big price.
Chelsea for the boys. Okay, James?
Yeah, the sack crazy. I think Dan's right with Clement probably being the value. I mean, the problem he's got is that the other clubs who've changed their managers, a lot of them have had a great bounce. We're talking about Claude Puel at Leicester. Obviously, Palace have picked up, and even Moisey at West Ham's doing very well. Right, so yeah, I think that Swansea's owners will be looking at that and thinking that could be the way to go.
That 5 to 6 could be tempting. And Ed, which one are you going to take?
Yeah, I'll take the Burnley one. It's more of an ode to Sean Dyche, really, what I'm going to say here. But it's like they're not even the biggest club in Lancashire. Blackburn are it's
you must be saying this through gritted teeth, aren't you? Because Blackburn Burnley rivalry,
yeah, exactly. But it's phenomenal what he's done. I'm just shocked no club has taken a go on him yet, particularly like Everton or maybe even Palace there a few months ago as well. He surely must. He has to be in the run for manager of the year. If he definitely if they finish anywhere in the top 6 or 7, because I remember being on this podcast only 6 or 7 weeks ago. I'm saying Burnley were 11 to 4 for relegation. You know what I mean? It's a phenomenal job he's done, and fair play to them. They're defying expected goals and all that.
But tell me about this. What's happening with their XG? Are they just absolutely rewriting the sort of good luck book on that, or is there some merit to it?
Look, there's always going to be teams that are an anomaly to XG. I mean, you had it with Reading last year in the Championship off the top of my head. I think they were the most profitable team to back in all 4 leagues last season, just because they're constantly going off high prices. And I think Northampton as well the season before when they won League 2 were kind of similar under Chris Wilder. So yeah, there's always going to be anomalies to XG. But definitely if you were punting Burnley match to match this year, you'd be up a fortune. You know what I mean?
Certainly would.
Check out Paddy's Rewards Club. Place 5 bets of £10 or more across any sport in a week and get a £10 free bet the next week. Paddy Power, you beauty! Max £10 bonus per person per week. Excludes shop bets. Selected odds. Conditions and exclusions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Okay, let's look ahead to Saturday's live games, and the first of them takes place at 12:30. It's Leicester versus Palace. Ed Quigley, how do Paddy Power bet?
So it's 10 to 11 Leicester, 12 to 5 to draw, and Crystal Palace are 130.
I hate to say it, James Milton, but that 10 to 11 Leicester looks a half decent price.
Yeah, I'm pretty sweet on Leicester for this one. I mean, Palace still waiting for that elusive first away goal of the season, 8 games in. And the approach seems to be try and win your home games for Palace and a little bit less adventurous away from home. 0-0s at Brighton and West Brom. And Leicester, as you mentioned, are really getting their act together. Claude Puel has taken 17 points from a possible 24, won their last 4 now, and obviously a very satisfying thumping of his former club Southampton in midweek. So I think Leicester probably could get the weekend off to a flying start for favourite backers. You may only need to tune in for the last 5 minutes of Palace games really to see the drama. But I think with Mahrez on song, possibly playing for a move away from home, but he's scored 3 in his last 4. I think Leicester will have too much for Palace.
So you're just going to go in a neat Leicester win?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Dan Childs, what's your approach to this going to be?
I actually thought Palace are a bit of a big price. I look at these teams, and since I know Leicester are on this great run. I mean, I look at Palace I think the last 10 games it's 2 defeats. So he's putting something together there at the moment. And this away form as well, it's a little bit misleading because of the 6 away defeats, 5 of them against teams in the top 6. So the way the fixtures have gone, they just got out of the way all of their tough away games. So they might pick up quite a few more away wins before the end of the season. They're picking up clean sheets away from home. Obviously they're looking to be solid first, so it's a bit unadventurous. But they've got a clean sheet at West Brom, clean sheet at Brighton. And they have got a threat on the counter-attack. I look at Leicester and Palace, and they're similar in the way they set up. They've both got an X-factor in Mahrez for Leicester, Wilfried Zaha for Palace. They're both good on a counter-attack, and to me, they're both teams that look better suited in a way sometimes to playing away than at home. I know Palace's results don't suggest that at the moment.
They certainly don't.
But not so long ago, they were seen as a team that were a good away side. And I think with the fixtures, as I've said, over the rest of the season coming up, they'll get some away wins. And I just got a feeling this 100-30 is a bit big, and I would be taking that as a value bet.
Ooh, blimey. James very sweet on Leicester. Dan thinks Palace are the value. Ed, you can have the deciding vote.
Yeah, I'd agree with yourself and James there. Like, I think Leicester look big here to me as well. I mean, since Puel's come in, like he's managed 10 games, he's won 7 of them. He's only lost 1, and that was the City at home. And like, in fairness, that was at 0-0. Company should have been sent off as well in that game. But anyway, what I will say about Palace is similar to what Dan just said there, though. Like, they have had a really tough away fixture list in this half of the season, like, as he just mentioned there. And, like, obviously, they've seen definitely an upturn in form since Hodson's come in. Like, Fosu Mensah, I think, is a doubt now for the weekend as well.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure he's going to play right back because Joel Ward's injured as well. So we might have to play Martin Kelly at right back, which isn't going to be great against they're just a pacey side, aren't they, Ed,
Yeah, exactly. And I suppose you've got obviously Sacco, Delaney and Ward are already out as well. Like, just they look a little bit defensively kind of vulnerable this weekend. So yeah, Leicester all the way from me here.
Okay, at 5:30, this is a game and a half. Man City versus Tottenham. What's the latest betting from Paddy Power?
So Man City are 1-2, the draw is 7-2, and Spurs are 5-1.
1-2 Man City. Does that float your boat, Dan Charles?
I don't think it's necessarily a great price, but I do feel that City will probably win the game. I mean, they're just rewriting all the record books, aren't they, at the moment in the Premier League? I mean, 52 goals in the 17 games, averaging over 3 goals a game, and I don't see any team in the league at the moment that could go there and with confidence say they're going to get a result. They're a bit complacent, I think, looking back against the West Ham game when they were really poor in that match. But since then, they were excellent against Man United. I mean, talk about from Mourinho's quarters, they were somehow lucky. I mean, it was just totally ridiculous.
Who cares about that toss? Shut up, Jose.
So, I mean, and they've gone on from that. The Swansea performance was fantastic. Confidence is just sky high. Spurs have got a good record against them in the last couple of seasons. They took 10 points from the last 12 against Manchester City, which is kind of a very decent record. And I do think they might score a goal. Harry Kane's looking sharp at the moment. He had that slight hamstring injury, didn't he? And didn't look quite as sharp, but he's looking back on it now. So I think Spurs will get a goal, and that's the angle that I would go with here. Man City to win and both teams to score. You get a good amount of odds against for that. That would be where I would go for.
James, what do you think will happen?
Yeah, I'm singing from the same hymn sheet as Dan, actually. I've got kind of split stakes on 2-1 and 3-1 Man City. Manchester City win and both teams to score has copped in 6 of their last 8. And they don't need to be too concerned about clean sheets when they're averaging more than 3 goals a game. Tottenham have obviously got a bit going forward and a prolific finisher, as Dan mentions, in Harry Kane. They were very poor at Arsenal. They lost 1-0 at Manchester United, lost at home to Chelsea, and last season they took 3 points from 6 games away at the top 7. So they've not really got a great record in these kind of fixtures. I think it's easy to have a build up a kind of narrative about these, but these are your hardest fixtures of the season, aren't they? Away against the top clubs. So. As Dan says, I think it's hard to oppose City. But yeah, City 2-1 and 3-1 for me.
Okay. And Ed?
Yeah, I agree entirely with the two lads. I wish you'd come to me first. Yeah, City and both teams to score 13-8. This is what I have here. Look, we're running out of superlatives for City. They broke another record last night. Pep Guardiola now has the longest winning streak in 3 different leagues, like with La Liga, Bundesliga, and now the Premier League. City, however, have only kept 3 clean sheets at home. Two of them were at home to Burnley and Palace, and the other was against 10-man Liverpool. And Spurs have scored 6 out of 8 away games. So yeah, City and both teams to score for me, 13-8 there.
I've got a feeling about this game. I just don't think you can keep doing it, however good you are. Sport and football, a low-scoring game like that, it's just sometimes something will happen. I've got a funny feeling this might be, I don't know, a 2-2 draw, something like that. Let's spin through the 3 p.m. non-televised matches. Ed, you can go first in all of these. To save us throwing around, we'll go to you for the prices. We'll stick with you with the verdict, and then we'll hear what the lads think. We'll kick off with Arsenal v Newcastle.
Okay, so it's 1-4 Arsenal, 5-1 Newcastle, 5-1 the draw, and 11-1 Newcastle. I'll go with that, a home win there.
A home win. Very adventurous start there from Ed. Yeah. James, what do you think will happen?
I'm going to go Arsenal to win to 0. I mean, apart from the United game, first 10 minutes, obviously they defend pretty well at home, and Newcastle lacking attacking quality.
Dan?
Yeah, I've got the same bet here. Arsenal 4 clean sheets out 5 at home, so they are quite solid in the home games. Newcastle 1 point in 8 games at the moment. They're on a terrible run. I can't see them getting anything here.
So it's Arsenal to win to 0.
Arsenal to win to 0.
You two boys. Brighton versus Burnley, Ed.
13-8 Brighton. The draw is 2-1, and Burnley are also 2-1. I will go with Brighton to upset Burnley's current hot form.
Okay, Jamesy.
The 1-1 draw for me in this one.
Ed and Dan?
I'm going to go with Brighton as well. I just think this is a bigger game for Brighton. They need the points more, and I think they're a bit of value.
Okay. Chelsea versus Southampton, Ed.
So Chelsea are 4-11, the draw is 4-1, and Southampton are 8-1. I will go with Chelsea -1 here.
Chelsea -1, so they've got to win by 2 or more for that bet to cop. James Milton?
I like the 9-4 about 0-0 at half time in this. I think Southampton, particularly after that midweek humbling against Leicester, will be looking to keep it tight. So Chelsea might have to wait.
And Dan?
I'm going to go opposite to that. Chelsea double result at 10-11. Southampton were absolutely awful against Leicester. Never got close to them. I just think not enough recovery time. I think they're going to get heavily defeated.
They were okay against Arsenal, though, weren't they?
They did, and I think what's probably happened with the fixtures coming thick and fast, they put a hell of a lot into that game, and looking at them against Leicester, they just didn't seem at it at all. The energy wasn't there, so I think they'll struggle here.
Stoke versus West Ham, Ed.
It's 6-5 Stoke. The draw is 23-10, and West Ham are 12-5. I will go with draw there.
Draw there, James.
Yeah, West Ham draw no bet. Mainly anti-Stoke and West Ham. They've had some hard games, but they've come through them pretty well.
Dan.
I'm going to go with Stoke here. They actually shots on target at Burnley had 7-2 in Stoke's favour, so they played pretty well in that game. West Ham, again, the tiredness factor. They put a hell of a lot into the Chelsea game, worked so hard against Arsenal as well to get the draw. I just think they're going to be feeling it a bit leggy, and Stoke odds against at home is a good bet.
And unusually after that game, Mark Hughes said that they were really unlucky. I mean, it's not like to say that, so they must have been so unlucky.
Yeah.
Must have been narky, sparky. Watford versus Huddersfield, Ed.
8-11 Watford, the draw is 13-5, and Huddersfield are 4-1. I will go with Huddersfield double chance here.
Why?
I just think the wheels, Watford have exceeded expectations, and probably Huddersfield have as well, but just, I think 8-11 feels short to me for Watford there, so yeah, I'd be with the Huddersfield side of that bet.
Righty-ho, James?
Yeah, I'm going for the draw. I mean, Watford have had a tough time. They're obviously a bit unlucky at Palace and had some tough games before then, but yeah, that looks plenty short, I think, the 8-11.
I'm going to go Watford to win. I think they've got a big goal threat in the side, which Huddersfield haven't really got. Huddersfield, no goal in the last 8 away games, and that is astonishing, really, for Huddersfield's stat away from home. They seem to struggle playing away from home. They make the most of the atmosphere in home games, and are more positive away from home. They struggle, and Watford, I think, are going to get back on track here.
Let's get the naps.
This will not be beaten.
I am going to go with West Ham draw no bet, which is what you tipped earlier, James. I think that West Ham are getting there under Moisey. I think the change in manager is a significant benefit to them, and I think they're on a little bit of a roll. I like West Ham there. Who do you like, James?
I'm going for Bristol City to beat Nottingham Forest in the Championship. Bristol City, one of the surprise packages in the division. And in the last couple of months, they've beaten sides like Fulham, Cardiff, Middlesbrough, Sheffield United. Nottingham Forest not quite as strong as those teams. They've lost 7 of 10 away, 6 of 8 against teams above them in the table. And yeah, Bristol City full of confidence.
Can they go up, Bristol City?
I suspect probably not quite, but no, they're giving it a very good go.
Chance, and they got the big centre forward Jeju, who was their big summer signing. He'll be fit in January apparently, so that'll be a huge boost for them as well.
Righty-ho, who's your nap, Dan?
I'm going to go for Preston at 13-10 at home to Sheffield United. Preston are pushed up now, just on the edge of the playoffs. got 10 points in the last 4 games. Had a bit of an injury crisis about a month ago. That's cleared up now and they're playing better. Sheffield United, since Coots has got injured, he's out for the season, I think. Important holding midfield player. They've had 1 point from the last 4 games. So they're on the slide. Preston, odds against.
Okay, and Ed Quigley.
Yeah, I would go with Inter -1 at 10-11 against Udinese. Bit of a move here for Udinese during the week after Inter went to the 120 minutes in the Coppa Italia. But like most of their big guns weren't even playing. Like Brozovic, Icardi and Perisic all came on very, very late in that match. So, and yeah, like Udinese are very poor, and I think Inter will continue their fine start to the season here with a resounding win. So yeah, Inter -1 at 10-11.
Okay, I've got some very sweet news for Mark Sugar from Reading. Mark, well done. You won the free bet from Paddy Power last week. If you want to win a free £25 or €25 free bet, courtesy of Paddy Power, answer this question. Who scored Crystal Palace's winner versus Watford on Tuesday night? Just key in the name of that fantastic Scottish midfielder and then add the hashtag Postcast and tweet the name, and we will pick out at random someone and we will tell you next week who's won.
Check out Paddy's Rewards Club. Place 5 bets of £10 or more across any sport in a week and get a £10 free bet the next week. Paddy Power, you beauty! Max £10 bonus per person per week. Excludes shop bets. Selected odds. Conditions and exclusions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Bruce Millington, James Milton, Dan Childs and Paddy Power's Ed Quigley are looking ahead to 2 live Premier League games on Sunday at 2:15. It's West Bromwich Albion versus Manchester United. I'm going to come to you very quickly for they played for both clubs. But first, Ed, how do Paddy Power bet?
So it's 5-1 West Brom, 3-1 the draw, and United are 4-7.
Come then, Dan.
Brian Robson.
Brian Robson.
Darren Fletcher.
Darren Fletcher, yeah.
Remy Moses.
Remy
Ben
Moses,
Foster.
Ben Foster,
Yeah.
Johnny Evans.
very
Who
good.
producer Jack? Kieran Richardson. There's plenty there.
Very
isn't
good,
there?
yeah.
It's quite
Almost an
a
11.
rich team. They managed both clubs.
Big Ron.
Well
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Okay, right then. Dan, Dan, I've given you the eyes there. I looked at Ed and said
Reverse
Ronaldo, yeah. Dan, you go first. Who's going to win?
I think Man United will win it. I mean, they were poor actually against Bournemouth. Bournemouth played with quite a bit of spirit there, and United looked like they were still feeling a bit sorry for themselves, I thought, after the Man City game. But they have done all right the last couple of away games. One at Watford 4-2, one at Arsenal 3-1. I just think as well, West Brom. I mean, no winning 15. They've dug in and thought, oh, got that 0-0 at Liverpool. But again, when the games are thick and fast and you've got to play 2 big teams, one after the other, I wonder how much they're going to have left in the tank. I mean, Pardew was brought in to free them up. That's what he said. They've got no goal in 3 games under Pardew at the moment. So I just think United will grind this out. They won't concede. Actually, they've won 5 of the last 6 Premier League games. The City one being the only defeat. United win 2-0, 7-5 for me.
United to win 2-0 at 7-5. That sounds pretty tempting. James, what's your angle?
Yeah, I was going to go for 1-0 Manchester United. Actually, I think Dan's vision of this game sits well with me. I mean, West Brom fans who are fed up with Tony Pulis's football.
Yeah.
The good times are back. 0-0 against Palace, lost 1-0 at Swansea and 0-0 at Liverpool. So that's
well in their class.
yeah, that should get the viewing figures out. And United's away records be fairly patchy. They lost at Huddersfield, drew at Stoke. But yeah, I think West Brom's attacking threat is minimal, and United should grind it out.
Ed Quigley, what do you think will happen at the Hawthorns?
Yeah, so I think the 4-7 looks short enough on United for me anyway. I mean, United have been held by Stoke away from home, and they've also lost to Huddersfield away as well this season. It's hard. It's difficult to gauge West Brom at the minute. Like, obviously, they haven't scored a 3 under Pardew, but apparently they were quite good. I didn't see the highlights now of the game yet, but I heard that they were quite good against Liverpool away there last night, I think it was. But I wouldn't go near that. But I think the 20-0, 7-5 it sounds like a decent bet to me. A good way of getting United on side. And I also think Lukaku at 7-2 as well each way looks a decent bet as well. I mean, he does score against teams like this. I know he's getting a lot of abuse lately, but he got a goal last night. And his confidence should be up from that. So yeah, I'd go with that as well.
Okay, and at 4:30, it's Bournemouth versus Liverpool. And Ed, how did Paddy Power bet on that one?
So it's 11-2 Bournemouth, 7-2 to draw, and Liverpool at 4-9.
4-9 Liverpool. What do you reckon there, James?
Yeah, I think that West Brom United game looks like one where they could bring the worst out of each other, and this one looks the complete opposite. I think this could be quite a joyous occasion. I'm going for over 3.5 goals. Last season it was 2-2 at Anfield, and then Bournemouth had a famous 4-3 win at home. Yeah, I mean, that Liverpool price 4-9 looks pretty short away from home. But, you know, when they're on song, you know, their last 3 away games, 5-1 at Brighton, 3-0 at Stoke, 4-1 at West Ham. I expect Bournemouth to get on the score sheet, but yeah, Liverpool could run out fairly easy winners in the end.
I'll tell you what, I hope Klopp's got some geniality on his Christmas card list.
He's
lost it all,
seeing his true colours, I think.
He's all out of charm, isn't he?
He's got a bit of petulance about him.
And there's nothing there. Yeah, he's turning into a right moany little sod, isn't he? Bournemouth v Liverpool. James Milton thinks it's going to be a thriller. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I think it'll be goals. I also think that Liverpool are too short a price for this one. I mean, as has been mentioned, Bournemouth took 4 points from these 2 fixtures last season. They played well at Man United. I mean, I think the shots on target was 7 to Bournemouth, 2 to Man United. So they really started the game and finished the game strong at Man United. And I just think Liverpool at the moment, you talked about Klopp's mood, and I mean, it's four big points are dropped as well against Everton and West Brom. The West Brom game, I mean, I watched the highlights. It looked like they were less dominant in that game than they were against Everton. West Brom did play okay, actually, on the night. And I just think there's, at the moment, the confidence is maybe a little bit down for Liverpool. They've still got that vulnerability, I feel, at the back as well, that Bournemouth could exploit. And they're just too short. So I'll go for Bournemouth or draw, double chance at 8-5.
Do you think, Ed, do you think that Klopp would ever actually see that Jordan Henderson's not as good as his reputation to maybe look to make a change there?
I entirely agree. Like, he seems to be doing it for England as well, though. I don't know. Yeah, it's he's a bit like Glenn Whelan for Ireland, I think. Like, just a load of managers. Like, it's something they see that the rest of us don't see, I don't think. Like, but
maybe he's a training ground player. Do you remember they used to say
exactly.
that, didn't they?
Train's great.
Oh, bollocks, isn't it? Yeah. You can go and watch them on the training ground. It doesn't matter what they did on the training ground. So, Ed, Bournemouth, Liverpool, who should we be backing?
Yeah, I entirely agree with Dan there. Like, I think Liverpool are way too short here, and I just think you'll do your dough here. Like, if you you maybe not this weekend, but you'll do your dough some weekend at these kind of prices against a team like Bournemouth. I would go with Bournemouth, double chance at 8-5 for me, definitely, and for the poor week for Liverpool to continue.
Okay, everyone's very down on Liverpool. We've got a Monday night match, which is always good news, and it's at 8 o'clock. It's at Goodison Park. It's Everton versus Swansea. Everton getting it right under Sam Allardyce. Swansea floundering, so presumably Everton are going back to the good old days when they're odds on and looking good. What's the latest betting, Ed?
Yeah, so Everton are 4-6, the draw is 11-4, and Swansea are 9-2.
Dan, could you bring yourself to back Everton to win a league game at 4-6?
No, because I don't think they've improved as much as the results would suggest. I look at watching the performance. I watched the Liverpool game, and really, I mean, they were absolutely battered in that game. It was a penalty. It was the right decision, contrary to what Klopp was saying. But they were still lucky to get the result. Liverpool wasted their chances, and I just feel that they've not improved that much. Even against Newcastle last night, Newcastle hit the woodwork twice. Look, the dominant side for a lot of the game. This is a Newcastle side that have taken 1 point from the last 8 games. I'm just not sold totally yet on Everton. Now, Swansea as well, another team I'm not sold on. But they did have an improved performance against West Brom. The game before Man City, when they actually competed, they got the 1-0 win and deserved to get it.
Perhaps
really.
he kind of turned it in against City and just said, look,
maybe, yeah. I mean, but he didn't do that with his selection. He picked the same players, but the players seemed to turn it in. Really, they didn't put the same effort in. But even so, with the confidence after that City game, I still can't be that confident with Swansea. What I would say is under 2.5 goals is a big runner here. I look at. Unders has copped in the 3 games since Allardyce has gone in. We all know how he likes to tighten up at the back and focus on the defensive side. Swansea away from home, 6 of their 8 away games have been under 2.5 goals. So I just think that a bit of odds on is a good bet.
What price are the unders, Ed?
The unders is 8-11.
8-11. That sounds fair enough.
That's fine by me.
Yeah, you made a very good case there, James. What do you think we should do?
Yeah, I'm with Dan. I'm not getting carried away by Everton. I mean, that performance at Anfield was utterly dismal, and then they get a softish penalty, and some people would have you believe that Rooney's a hero and it's an Allardyce masterclass. But
that's how football works.
it's a results business, Bruce. But yeah, I mean, Everton at those kind of prices at home for the last kind of 3 or 4 seasons, they've just been untouchable really as a punter. The one bet that stood out for me was Wilfried Boney to score at any time, 3-1. I mean, I think Dan mentioned in the paper the other day that he's looked slightly rejuvenated. He scored against Stoke and West Brom. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Paul Clement does unleash Boney and Tammy Abraham together. You know, if he is, as we've said, odds on for the sack. You know, he might do it. And you know, Boney in his first spell at Swansea scored 25 goals in 43 starts in the league. You know, he is a quality player. Yeah. So that would be the one. But yeah, it's a very tricky betting heat, this one, I think.
Okay, I've gone.
And he did that for towards the end of the game at West Brom. That's what won him the game. He brought Abraham on, went 2 up. You know, for the last 10-15 minutes, and instant impact won him the game. So
well, we had 120 years of people playing 2 strikers.
Yeah.
You know, the last 10 years have gone one. But perhaps there was something in it after all.
Yeah.
Ed Quigley, what's the bet here?
Yeah, so everything were backed in last night from 3 to 4 to 4 to 6. I don't know, 3 to 4 I'd be a little bit tempted, but 4 to 6, yeah, I'd agree with the 2 lads. Yeah, it wouldn't be for me either. I suppose the bet that stood out to me is like Rooney's 15 to 8 anytime there. Like, he's got 5 in his last 4. He'll definitely be on pens. He'll probably be on 1 or 2 free kicks as well, maybe sharing the duties with Sigurdsson. But yeah, I think that 15 to 8 looks decent enough, Bryce, and yeah, that's where my money will go in this game.
Splendid stuff. Thank you so much, chaps. Thanks, James. Thanks, Dan. Thank you, Ed. Thank you for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with a weekend racing postcast. Back next Thursday for next weekend's football. Don't forget, if you like the shows, please make sure you review and subscribe on iTunes.
Check out Paddy's Rewards Club. Place 5 bets of £10 or more across any sport in a week and get a £10 free bet the next week. Paddy Power, you beauty! Max £10 bonus per person per week. Excludes shop bets. Selected odds. Conditions and exclusions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.